Well, we're not going to find anything out just by sitting here.
We could.
And if we don't want to find anything out at all, we should just drive past. But I like the idea that if this place is safe, we might actually be able to, rest our feet for a few days.
Yeah, honestly, Potman's willing to let y'all take the lead. He's not sure. And he wants the ability to, retroactively say, I knew that was a terrible idea. I knew it all along.
Shifty MacGannigan. And Cat?
If you're headed towards...
In worst case, we're going to take off running as soon as the infection shows up.
Yeah, well, as long as we're ready for it, we're leaving Tony in the car ready, or... Sure he can defend himself. I mean, I've seen him with his gun.
He'll figure something out. And by him, I mean Grimith.
Tony snorts and says, I'm getting tired here, people.
Come back, he's asleep, killing zombies in his sleep.
Yeah, that sounds like Tony.
He's fending them off with a pen and contract for car ownership.
Yeah, that sounds like Tony.
Tony doesn't look very amused.
Does he really ever?
Yeah, that's Tony.
You tell from all that scar tissue?
Tony looks less amused today than he has on prior days.
He has managed to bend the scarred smile into a frown.
Yeah, man, Tony looks hardcore now.
If you're really that opposed to this, we can just keep driving.
That's the thing. I'm not very opposed to it.
I mean, Chris/Cat.
I'm just super uncertain.
Uncertain as hell.
We're going to be uncertain of everything from this point on.
Exactly. Now you understand my problem.
Yeah, let's get out and give it a shot. Probably literally, but you get the idea.
Hopefully not literally.
Sure. Trusty Tony cruises around the town a bit more. Definitely does look like the southwestern section is walled off. The only thing that would serve to be as a gate of some sort ends up being like one avenue, which leads into the section. And as soon as the car sort of turns onto that avenue to head towards the wall, floodlights actually start snapping on and lighting the avenue brightly.
So that's like a -12.
Someone rerouted the power.
Basically, like
Or
a mass of lights just like coming on, so to just shine all over you, completely revealing you to anything. Like even like a few miles away, there is a vehicle out here on its own.
Kitten's put its paws over its eyes.
Fletch is putting the kitten's paws over its eyes.
As the kitten mews helplessly.
Had
Tony says, so, guys...
I head slow.
Tony slowly drives forward.
Straight on the
Recklessly.
Mm-hmm.
At a recklessly
Slowly but
slow
recklessly.
rate.
Mm-hmm. No. Keeps puttering around until basically he can't go forward anymore because between him and whatever actually waits out there in the southwest quadrant is the actual gate itself, which consists of several layers of basically like fucking tire strips, like barricades, wood, sheet metal, a few cars there, basically just add like fortification of sorts.
I think it's time we make our intentions known.
Just,
Honk the horn, maybe? I don't fucking know. I've never had to drive into an armored
Well,
corpse
I
compound before.
assume once we can no longer go forward, they're kind of, if they're going to parlay at all, they're expecting us to get out and show that we're not about to open fire.
Well, you know what they say about assumptions.
You know, we've come this far in, there's no way we're getting out faster than they could fill us with holes if we're going to try that route.
let's see.
Upon reflection, Eugene has a very, very bad feeling. That sort of paranoid, like crawling up the back of his neck, sense of dozens of eyes on him, personally.
Eugene suddenly, like, ducks down a little in his seat, looking back and forth nervously.
Oh my god.
Tweaking out a little bit.
There's so many two-story buildings in that quadrant with, like, open windows.
Guess I probably shouldn't have said that.
Anyone could be watching out with binoculars.
Everyone could be watching out.
With a scope. You don't even know how many people are back there.
That's right, doggy.
And if you make a wrong step, there goes Potman.
Alright, Potman just
Perhaps
starts, like,
the last of the MacGannigans.
Potman starts going like, ah, ah, ah.
Sounds a lot like the dog. Rawr, rawr.
But yeah, he just starts like flipping out a little in the backseat.
Fletch is just going to give him a kind of slightly annoyed look and get out of the car.
Yeah, step outside.
Showing his hands out to the sides that he's not holding anything.
Same idea, but not. Yeah, go fully out.
Okay. Fletch and Kat step out of the vehicles.
Fuck, Potman does the same.
Okay.
While looking visibly fucking terrified.
Tony is grafted to the chair.
Eugene looks down. There's a few, like, red and green laser pointers converging on his torso.
Fletch will actually call out and just be like, "We're not here to fight."
A voice boomed by a megaphone goes back, "That's what every raider says!"
Why does he have to sound like fucking Cobra Commander?
A defect of the megaphone.
Because good taste?
It's a setting on the megaphone.
Yes? Don't judge his megaphone. You don't even know what he looks like.
We're not raiders. Just looking for somewhere safe from this. Motioning back to everything behind them.
We're really badly hurt. Potman offers.
A lot of.
Because, I mean, that's not exactly something we're going to hide anyway.
Yeah.
No.
Have you seen them? I mean, you can see them in the light.
Especially not with how well lit
We haven't really had time to clean up since the gas station exploded on us.
No. You haven't made the time anyway.
Like, the places we've stopped, like, haven't had any of the amenities to do it. I guess we had running, like, poison water, possibly, but, yeah.
Let's wash ourselves in poison water. Great idea.
I mean, it would definitely kill all the bacteria on our skin.
Along with all the skin.
Kills 99.9% of odor-producing bacteria.
The megaphone crackles back to life and says, "You're welcome to stay on the outskirts, in the abandoned buildings for a few days. However, we would not open this realm up to you without you surrendering your weapons and submitting yourselves to examination to ensure you are clean."
When we're ready to go, do we get them back?
There's a snort.
We're willing to help out as long as we're here.
Help? Many people offer help. What can you do?
I didn't bring a resume.
I can work metal.
I'm good at talking. Roll dice.
I've got some medical knowledge.
Yeah, I'm just that charming.
Really, just having my company here would be a great honor for you.
You're welcome.
Pretty good shot. Just pretty good with medical stuff. And
Leave them.
What else
leave
do you
this
do?
in Fletch.
He's homeless.
God damn it.
Does Eugene say that?
I imagine in his panic he would.
I'm thinking yes.
Alright, Eugene says, he's homeless!
The rambling.
Fletch just kind of drops his head a little bit at that. Like, are you fucking serious?
And yes, I am. Oh,
You're homeless too.
You might get your belongings back. Who's to say? As noted, you are welcome to stay on the outskirts, outside the wall, for a few days, without having to submit your belongings.
submit.
Yes, the voice comes across as certainly arrogant over the megaphone.
Kind of look back to the group. What do y'all think?
Let's stay on the outskirts.
Cat?
You trying to say they won't just, steal our stuff anyway if we're on the outskirts, but, shoot us too?
I'm
No
saying I
guarantee
don't
they'll
want
let
to
us
give
go.
them the chance to. We might see them comment and be able to leave.
That's an idea. Well, I mean, it'd just be a repeat of last time.
Actually ask them, would we be allowed to leave after helping out for a while? If we want to.
If you came into the compound and had not been bitten and prove yourselves useful, then you could go when you wished.
Any modifiers to it, certain lies?
You can't even see the gentleman. It's over a megaphone. It's pretty difficult to... you can't read any body language on that.
You can tell from the whine of the megaphone. What did you do?
Negative 5,000. Might get a +5 modifier. Yeah?
It's you've never met the speaker before. You can't even see. There's no telling what's true and what's not.
It's that damn Cobra Commander mod.
Yes, voice distortion.
The bane of my G.I. Joes.
The Cobra of your
Red
G.I.
Lady.
Joes.
I think we'll maybe be okay.
I wasn't sure before, but how confident you sound. That really won me over.
We might possibly be okay, I promise.
I mean, we could be
Sure.
okay.
Yes.
Crazier things have happened.
The options are then presented to you if, you don't have to. Like, if you're getting into the compound, you'd have to give up your weapons, the vehicle, you basically have to strip, and they're going to do a medical exam on you to ensure you haven't been bitten.
Yeah, but after we prove ourselves and we help them out for a while, I'm sure that these are, reliable folk that would allow us to leave.
Yeah.
Just to be clear,
with our belongings.
that bite on Potman's leg doesn't look anything like a bite anymore, right?
You mean the
Right.
bite that you carved out of it?
Exactly.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't look like a bite anymore. At least
It
Potman
looks
doesn't.
more like a bite-sized piece of scar tissue.
I mean, it's not even bite-sized, really.
At least
It was
that's what Potman thinks, but
Because it was a rat bite that he carved out a chunk of flesh the size of a silver dollar to get rid of.
Well, you know, a silver dollar is about the size of a human mouth bite.
You know.
That's true.
Just because, Eugene thinks it's okay, but he's also paranoid.
Hey, that's a good point.
There's no telling what could happen. You'd be giving up your weapons and your vehicle and your clothes and submitting yourself to strangers. And God knows what they might intend. What if they're more concerned citizens?
They could all be very busty, hot women for all we know. I mean, this medical exam might not be as bad as it sounds.
The last time Potman got medically examined...
Oh, you don't remember it.
Exactly.
It wasn't as bad as we made it sound.
As Ryan says, it could be the city-state of Lesbos. It could also be your doom.
Well, Potman would probably do pretty badly in that city-state.
I mean, come on. Lesbians, where's the hope in there?
They're actually one of
really
the
into voyeurism. They have to be bi. I mean, jeez.
It's just a name, Ryan. Gosh.
My vote is we go in.
Potman's inclined to not.
I'll vote for Chris and Absentia.
Nope, we have to wait for the power of 3 to get back.
So how about that local sports team?
Mm-hmm.
Which locale?
I hear they're doing great in the post/preseason.
My sports team is better than your sports team.
Of which locale?
Mine doesn't exist, so yours is by default better than mine.
And mine exists?
And if you're referring to Florida's sports team, everybody's is better.
Aww. But aww. Of all locales, it doesn't matter, Aaron. This is generic sports talk where you can just talk about sports ball, and it doesn't matter what it is. You can still speak to each other.
Yeah, it's small talk. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. We'll just gas bag.
What a ludicrous display at that game last night.
My goodness, that was terrible.
What was the moderator thinking?
What was he doing?
The referee, that was a horrendous call. So unfair.
Yes, that call he made.
Uh-huh.
He was having a laugh.
He should be fired.
The one.
The team who won shouldn't have.
All right.
And the one who didn't was robbed.
They deserved it.
All right, welcome back, Chris. The decision ends up being where the turns were presented. Ryan is all right. He casts his vote for going inside the compound and losing the weapons and vehicle and having a rigorous medical exam and maybe then being in a community of people who accept him. Potman is all cool for not going into the compound, keeping the weapons in the vehicle, and then leaving. After you get a night's sleep.
That.
With all of the dangers therein of staying, out here. At least you have your weapons.
They'd probably take my bat, wouldn't they?
That definitely counts as a weapon.
Bat has important emotional significance. We'll be staying outside with Potman.
It's a walking stick. Never mind that has a sword hidden inside it.
The Kukri would be going as well.
Well, I think we're just going to camp out here.
And they'd probably keep Potman's brick, let's be real here.
Are you kidding? That's part of how we're going to help them.
That might never come back. Or they just confiscated the weed and then discovered that he had been bitten.
The two, even themselves out, right?
And then brutally executed.
Yeah, brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
Instead of gently executed.
Instead of gently. Because that'll matter to him.
Yes, yeah.
You're going to kill him hardly, not softly.
All right. Well, you folks are definitely, possibly, probably able to pile back in the vehicle, and Trusty Tony will reverse and pull off back down the avenue. And the massive, powerful lights, they wink out as he finishes backing away and back into the rest of the town of Boonesboro.
Got a bad feeling about not going in there.
And I've got a bad feeling about going in there.
Both are terrible options.
Learn to live and die a little.
Picking the least terrible option.
Yeah, we were picking between bad and worse, and I think we only picked bad.
At any rate, there are certainly enough abandoned shelters in this town of formerly 2,800 for you all to find one that can be of sufficient service. It can be a 1-story, it can be a 2-story, you can even have a basement if you'd like. There's no power. There is still running water within this town.
Hey!
Yeah.
Does the running water happen to look horrible, or is it perhaps a bit really acidic?
Depends on your attitude towards tap water. What is your personal preference?
Well, it's not city water, so it might be potable.
You know, it's
Potman's pretty sure that the additives in water are not to protect teeth, and are for something more.
It's for government, you know,
Sinister.
espionage. Yes,
It dumbs down the population, so they're less likely to revolt.
Yeah.
It's that fluoride, man.
Something more.
You
sinister.
know who else used fluoride? The Nazis.
The water is not of the best purity. Perhaps the water treatment plant is, not being properly maintained and functioning. But, the water does definitely exist, and you can certainly create scenarios in which you purify the water. You can even somehow miraculously find, since you pretty much have the entire town just to the four of you looking around even in the dark, enough cold, cans of Chunky's Campbell's soup or whatever to forego eating rations for the night.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, so I'll take my unpleasant and cold shower, I guess.
Horse bath, maybe? Maybe, slowly heat up like a bucket of water.
No, I think I'll just suffer through it.
Yeah. Alright.
Clean off any wound.
The pain helps me know I'm still alive.
Yeah, yes, there's certainly quite a bit of pain,
Seriously.
From those injuries that have been sustained. Grievous injury.
Potman can finally get all the blood off. Most of it his.
Yeah.
I've only had 2 buildings or at least walls explode on me now.
As for Trusty Tony, he's like, yeah, whatever, I'll take last watch.
Motherfucker.
Trusty Tony finds, a suitable mattress, and he fucking goes out like a light, because that's Trusty Tony.
Didn't he get enough sleep while he was driving? Jeez.
That's the question, isn't it?
That's a good question. And you folks can end up spending those 10 hours here in order to, properly get the rest that your bodies need.
Well, I'll take first failure to watch.
Alright. I like that attitude, citizen.
I have never passed a watch check.
And I'll form the head.
Oh god, the robot would be terrible. Just be stumbling everywhere.
Let me roll just, do that out in the open for no reason. Okay.
What are you talking about? The Potbot would be the best.
We form the robot, and as soon as the enemy appears in front of us, it panics and runs.
Alright, so Fletch, Cat, then Eugene, then Trusty Tony.
Sounds
something.
that way.
Okay. Well, first off then, we'll start with Fletch, who's doing his watch after his bracingly cold shower. You know.
Any modifiers for being extra awake from coldness?
No, those would be cancelled by the extra darkness.
It's extra dark.
Extra dark. All right.
I might have heard it, though.
You might very well have. Fletch does not hear anything, though, other than Trusty Tony snoring loudly.
Someone
Did I
just
mention motherfucker?
You know, just doing what he can to relax. You know, perhaps still shivering a bit after the shower. You know,
Man, if he wasn't so trusty.
You know, fantasizing about Colette and destroying Franklin Knight.
The two thoughts that keep me warm at night.
And the fact that, you know, Nathan Leck, apparently, you know, small world.
Don't forget Cross. I could somehow stumble across her again and remember who she is.
Small man.
That's fine.
Well, wouldn't that make it a very big world to him?
Big dreams. All right. Next up is Kathlyn Maverick. You can make a perception plus notice for me.
One day he might grow up into Tom Hanks.
Behind the counter.
All right. Let's see here. That's 3 levels of success. Well, you definitely notice that all those injured fools, you know, they're trying to do their best to sleep. Trusty Tony's got it on lockdown. He is happy as a fucking clam. Ever since the moment where he shucked off responsibility and made you guys do the decisions instead of him, life has never been better, except for, you know, the rest of the horrors of the past month. You know, his
exploded.
His business is in complete shambles, you know.
That's
the Trusty Tony name.
Was always in complete shambles.
Solid, yeah.
Well, it wasn't physically in shambles yet, or at least noticed.
You know, he is emotionally dead right now. That being said, there's no interruptions or reasons for Kathlyn to be suspicious. I mean, anytime she thinks there might be noise out there, it's just a wind. You know, she checks, she gives it a good hard look. There's nothing disturbing you.
Deliberately making sure. Keep an eye out for rats. Because rats.
Sure.
Because rats.
Which leaves us to Aaron, making us a perception plus notice, please.
Yeah, time to get cocky and then roll really badly. Look at me rolling that.
Yeah, look at you. How about that local sports team?
So
how about
bad.
it?
Yeah. Well, Eugene is taking his watch. The incredibly perceptive, very intuitive and knowledgeable Eugene, with his auspex and his intense paranoia.
Oh, God.
Which may or may not help situations. And, sure enough, you know, you're in the early morning phase. Sun hasn't yet come up, and that's when outside you hear wind maybe blowing past metal like trash cans, and they rustle and they make sound that only you hear.
They're trash can robots.
At the side of the building.
Did you hear that? Only you hear it.
Because everyone else is asleep.
No, that's not the reason.
What does Potman do?
Scream a little bit.
Potman screams a little bit.
And then, like, sharply stops screaming as he realizes that the sound was nothing.
Okay.
But the first zombie we encountered was messing with trash cans.
I think that's enough to wake up Kat and Fletch. Trusty Tony doesn't give a fuck.
These nightmares, they don't really help deep sleep.
No, they don't.
Skype, what are you telling me? Stop making noises.
You know, it's like when people pee a little. You know, Potman just screamed a little. He suddenly cuts it off.
Yeah, like one serious yelp.
Mm.
And, given
Cutting
how,
off shortly.
Yeah, and given how edge everyone is on, except for Trusty Tony, that's definitely enough to get you both up.
Yeah, I get up, grab the pistol that I assume I keep right next to me and go out to see what's going on.
Sure.
Or if I'm in the same room, see what's going on.
Sure. We'll say you're in the same room. Wanted to band up together for survival.
Yeah, because, you know, splitting up in the bedrooms worked so well last time. Yeah, look to Eugene, like, what's going on?
Nothing.
do you mean
I
nothing?
heard a scream. A very short one.
I heard like a trash can make a trash can sound.
Another loud gust of wind blows past the house, rattling some more metal outside.
Yeah, that that.
I like to think this silence is us staring at you.
Exactly.
Yep.
Sigh and lay back down.